Thank you very much. All of you, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now calling for the World Bank. Ambassadors present, we have Professor Robert Godek, Ambassador of USA to Kenya. We also have the High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Ms. Durai.
We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Einstein said that. And I think it gives us the beginning point of how we want to look at the blue economy as it is now. But there is more potential now in the sea and in water masses. And that is why we're here. I think we are here to challenge ourselves, to see ways of how to harness and manage this resource, which is actually going to be our next contributor of GDP, not only in Africa, but in the world. And the numbers is talking and telling us the importance of the blue economy. And the definition of the blue economy is showing us the scope of the blue economy. It is not only about fishing. That is where we've concentrated for a very long time. It has actually increased our horizon to include a lot of other things which can be done within the water masses we have. Tourism, for example, mining, transport, and farming in the waters is encompassed in the blue economy. What does that mean then? It provides another source of challenge because there is no one sector or ministry which takes care of all these issues which are found in the sea or in our lakes or in our rivers. We have like giving the example of Kenya, we have the Ministry of Water, we have the Ministry of Natural Resources, and all these ministries, we have lands, and all these ministries have something to do with the blue economy. How then do we coordinate activities amongst all these ministries so that we can maximize and reap maximum potential when we exploit the blue economy? That's our challenge. And it is time now that we put up policies, structures, so that we gain as a country and as countries in Africa on this blue economy sector. So, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest challenge, therefore, is how, again, are we, especially in Africa, are we going to stop some of the bad habits we have undertaken in the land? We don't take it to the sea. You know what I mean. The kind of land degradation, the kind of exploitation, deforestation, and all these other activities we have undertaken on land. How are we going to learn from what we've done in land and the effect of what we've done on land so that we don't export them to the sea and undertake the same things? It therefore means we need to be proactive in the way we are going to exploit our ocean resources or resources available in our water bodies, and start from the onset to develop strategies and policies which provides us a sustainable way of exploiting them. In the fishing industry, for example, we've already suffered the threat of overfishing, especially in our lakes. As we speak now, we are seeing diminishing fish, especially in our East African region through our Lake Victoria. We are bringing in technologies of fishing only to realize that we are actually overfishing. But then, our technology adoption should not stop there. As we speak now in our Lake Victoria, cage fishing is becoming a popular event, and it has been caused because you cannot get enough of the natural fish And so we are going to do aquaculture inside the lake. That's what we are doing now. Good invention. But then, what environmental effect is that form of technology going to have in the lake? And therefore, it brings out the idea that as we exploit and as we go into this new territory, this new frontier, where we expect to use it to increase our GDP contribution in our economies, we need to go there knowing that we need to do it sustainably and more responsibly.
The blue economy refers to the sustainable utilization of aquatic resources and their services in order to support livelihoods and inclusive economic development while ensuring healthy ecosystems. Aquatic resources, resilient coasts, and the services they provide are tremendous assets that can sustainably be exploited for the benefit of current and future generations. If well managed, they can contribute to food and nutrition supply, jobs, wealth creation, community resilience, as well as improving national economies. Over 12 million people, and this is a very conservative estimate, are engaged in the fisheries sector alone in Africa. According to estimates of the World Bank and FAO, $50 to $100 billion could be received from the fisheries sector if the sector is managed more effectively with science-based management, using sciences to improve the management of the sector. 90% of the world trade is transported through waters, and offshore oil production globally accounts for 30% of oil production. As regards offshore gas production, it's 50% of all gas production is actually offshore. So waters have a lot to offer, and it's a matter of harnessing them and getting the most out of it for yourself. But unfortunately, the world's and Africa's coasts and aquatic resources are under threat from the negative impacts of rapid growth, mismanagement, and natural factors.
The African Union fully embraces the concept of blue economy, growth, and underscored by a responsible and sustainable approach that is more environmentally, socially, and economically effective. Thus, the blue economy development approach is fully embedded in the African Agenda 2063, which is a strategic framework document for inclusive growth and sustainable development for the continent. In this respect, one of the main goals of the AU Agenda 2063 is the development of blue ocean economy for accelerated growth. The key priority areas to achieve this goal, among others, are the sustainable management of fisheries and coastal resources, maritime transportation, and mining. The opportunities to realize the blue economy growth are vast, and the concept is gaining momentum on the continent. The African continent is adjacent to vast expanses of seas and oceans and has massive networks of rivers and lakes which provide ecosystem services and sources of diverse economic activity, including transportation, fisheries and aquaculture operations, ecotourism, energy, and mineral extraction. It is now a statement of fact that the oceans have a major role to play in the continent's socioeconomic growth, and that the blue economy offers a viable approach to sustainable development. However, the potential of the aquatic resources and the marine ecosystems to meet sustainable development can only be realized if they can be maintained and restored to a healthy and productive state. Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, from the perspectives of fisheries and aquaculture, contribution to the blue economic growth, the African Union has taken bold steps in an endeavor to harness the full potential of its aquatic and marine resources. Due to the seemingly intractable challenges to maximize the benefits of these resources as part of the strategy for contributing to blue economic growth initiative, the policy framework and policy strategy and the reform strategy for fisheries and aquaculture was developed and endorsed by the 23rd Summit of the African Heads of States and Governments in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea in June 2014.